Hi all. So I wanted to cover some moves in Celeste that I was trying to learn, but I didn't really see any good tutorials for. So I want to cover 4 moves today. So the first one I have seen a tutorial for, but I'm just gonna do it because I haven't seen many. So the first one I want to cover is the neutral jump, and then I'm going to cover the hyper into bunny hop combo that speedrunners like Tej use a lot, but that I haven't seen explained very much. And then the third thing that I want to cover, which is kind of 2 things, but they're very similar, is the reverse pivot hyper, reverse or pivot, either name is fine, pivot hyper or pivot wavedash. So this video is going to assume that you're already familiar with wavedashes and hypers. If you're not, there's a very good video by a guy called Get Good, literally, on YouTube. So I'd recommend watching that. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to cover is neutral jumps. So I thought, might as well use these, dream blocks. So I'm actually going to put the game mode into 50% speed to show you what's going on. Okay, so if you look here, actually I'll put it back just for now. So when you're climbing, if you're climbing and you jump, you just jump vertically like that, but that consumes a lot of stamina. As you see, go down like this and she runs out of stamina. So sometimes that's not an option if you don't have stamina. So if you try just jumping while holding into the wall, like I'm holding right now and jumping, you don't really gain any height. And if you jump out, then obviously you're just going to jump out like that. So the trick is, what you're going to do is, you'll notice that when I just get up on the wall, and you're gonna have to let go, you can't be holding climb to do this. If you just hit jump and nothing else, I'm not holding any direction when I jump, she actually gains height. The problem is, she doesn't stay on the wall. So you might naively think, okay, that's fine, I'll just hold into the wall and jump. But as you can see, that doesn't work either. So you have to do a combination of the two. So you jump away and then hold in. So jump away and hold in. And you'll see that where I land on the wall, I'm actually higher than where I started. And I don't consume stamina. So let's bring this into 50% speed, and I'll demonstrate. Okay, I'm actually used to the timings on full percent, so it's hard to show and slow down. Okay, I'm going to speed it back up. So this is what it looks like. I'm still not the best at it, but as you can see, if you get good at those timings, you can carry that on for as long as you need. I just climb, and that doesn't use any stamina, right? So if I actually run myself out of stamina, you can carry this on as long as you want without using any stamina. Okay, so that's the neutral jump. That was the first move that I wanted to cover, and just to reiterate, just once again, what you're doing is you're not holding climb, and you hit jump, and then you hold in. Just like that. So jump without holding anything, and then quickly after you jump, hold right, and then once you hit the wall again, release right, or left, or whatever side you're on, jump again, and repeat the process. Okay, so that does that, and now I'm actually going to go to a different checkpoint so I can demonstrate the other two things that I want to demonstrate. Okay. This is just on a different save file. Okay. Okay. So let's demonstrate the hyper into bunny hop combo. So once again, I'm going to first talk about what this is all about. So a bunny hop, if you're not familiar with the idea, and if you're not, I would suggest going onto the Celeste wiki and looking it up, is basically any kind of short jump that you do on the ground like this, some sort of short jump. And the cool thing about them is that they actually give you a little bit of a speed boost. It's actually faster to bunny hop continuously like this than it is to just, walk. If, obviously it takes practice, but it actually turns out to be faster. Okay, but that's not what we want to get into. The most important thing about bunny hops is that they actually maintain your horizontal momentum. So if I'm holding right, as you can see, it maintains my momentum. Okay, that's kind of obvious. But the cool thing is that you can actually combine that with the momentum that you get from, say, a hyperdash to bring you further out in distance. So if I were to just do a normal hyperdash, which I'm going to assume you're already familiar with, okay, let's try not, let's just do a, an unextended hyperdash first. Okay, not bad. Actually, what I'll do is I'll start from the same place every time so we can compare the distance. So I'll start from this little broken pillar right here. So a normal hyperdash, and I'm going to hold in jump the whole time, just so that you get the most out of it. Not bad. So we ended up on this thing right here. Okay, now I'm going to try an extended hyperdash. We're going to start a little further back. I ended up on that thing. Let's do it one more time. You end up at about that corner. Okay, but now I'll show you a technique that gets you the best distance. So I'm going to start all the way from back here. Okay, and what I'm going to do is this. As you can see, I made it to the next screen. So let's break down what I did there. So I'm going to put the game into 50%. Okay, so we start with a normal hyperdash, but you're not going to extend it. I guess maybe you could extend it if you want. I haven't tried that. I think it works better when you don't extend it. So you're going to just start with a regular, non-extended hyperdash. Okay, that's fine. Everybody knows how that works. The important part, though, is that you don't hold in jump too much, because if you hold in jump for too long, I don't really have a long enough platform to demonstrate this. Maybe down here. If you hold in jump for too long, then okay, let's try out here. Then your momentum actually slows down a little bit by the time you hit the ground again. You actually have slightly less horizontal momentum. So it's important that you keep your jump relatively short. So you hyperdash, but you only kind of tap the jump button when you do it. Okay? So that looks like this. It's a very short hyperdash. Okay? And it's important that you do a hyperdash and not just a regular jump dash, because you get slightly more horizontal momentum with the hyperdash. So just a short hyperdash like that, where you barely touch the jump button. Then what you do is that you're going to time it so that when you hit the ground again, you're going to do a quick jump. So that looks like this. And already you can see I have, enormous horizontal momentum. Okay? So then once you do your jump again, you have a ton of horizontal momentum, and you keep your dash, because the timer since your last dash has gone, and you made contact the ground, so you get your dash back. So that looks like this. And you can even combine that with a downwards diagonal dash to get a huge amount of speed, because there's a weird thing in Celeste where downward diagonal dashes they're the only type of dash that maintain your horizontal momentum. If I do a hyper dash, or an extended hyper, well, that wasn't extended. Okay, if I do an extended hyper, and then I horizontally dash, you can see that it resets my momentum there, okay? But if I do a downward diagonal dash, see how it really flings me downwards? It keeps that horizontal momentum. So what we can do is we can combine these two ideas together. So we combine the short hyper with the bunny hop. We're going to combine that with the downwards diagonal dash to get huge speed. You don't have to combine with the downwards diagonal, but I'm just trying to demonstrate how much speed and distance you can get. So that's huge speed. So let's go back to 100% speed and demonstrate how this works in real time. So again, hyperdash, short, unextended, into bunny hop like that, okay? And then you jump and do the thing. So let's see what that looks like. Okay, well, that wasn't good. So you get huge speed, and you can get huge distance as well if you just use a regular horizontal or maybe upward diagonal dash. So as you can see, okay, well, you can make it all the way into the next room without touching the floor, if I actually use my horizontal dash. So I'm going to make it all the way into the next room without touching the floor. Okay, not like that. Didn't touch the floor, made it into the next room. And starting from this position here, back here, that's the only way that you could make it all the way into the next room without touching the floor. Okay, so now that I've covered the neutral, the hyper into bunny hop, I want to now touch on reverse hypers and reverse wave dashes, which actually I just learned today. So hypers and wave dashes are the only moves where you can actually reverse your momentum in the middle of it. So let me demonstrate what that looks like. Okay, well, I'm still not the best at them. Like that. So that was a reverse hyper. Okay, and then you can do the same for wave dashes. Like that. And you do actually get your dash back, which is pretty cool. Okay, so let's break down how that works. So let's bring the game speed to 50. So what you're going to do, I'm just going to show you what key sequence. So let's cover reverse hypers first. So you're going to hold down and left, or down and right if you want to go to the left, but usually you're going to be going to the right. And you're going to so your normal hyper dash is you hold and then you press dash and jump in quick succession. But when you do a reverse hyper, you're going to do something in the middle. So I'm going to dash and then hold right and then jump. Like that. So right after I hit the dash key, I held right and then I hit jump. So instead of just dash jump like that, I'm going to go to the left and then dash right jump like that. Okay? So dash right and then jump. Or if you want to do it, say, to the left. Okay, well that's not it. You can do it to the left as well. So let's look at that in real time. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay, not that. Still not the best at them. didn't get my dash back, but that was kind of correct. Like that. I'm not gonna lie, they're difficult to pull off, but they can be helpful, because sometimes you don't, because with a essentially what you're doing is when you do an extended hyper, you need a lot of space to get your dash back. You know, you need all this space here. But when you do a reverse hyper, you essentially cut that distance in half, because you're basically folding it on top of itself, because you're getting that sliding time first going left and then going right. So you could do it, you know, off here. Okay, not like that. So like that. And you'll notice that if I were to just try a regular an extended hyper off that, well, okay, it actually does work, but you can make the platforms even tighter, and I'm not good enough at it yet to be able to do that, but you can get basically an extended hyper dash where you really don't have that much space, like just like that. So I did an extended hyper, but I only have this much space, and if I just did a regular hyper dash, I don't have enough space to get my dash back. You saw my hair was blue when I was in the air. Okay, so we're going to apply the same concept to wave dashes. Okay, and again, game is slowed down. So again, with the hyper, we look to the left, and then we did dash right jump, like that. Okay, so I'm going to do the same with the wave dash. Like that. So wave dash is normal, so that would be a... Okay, well, I didn't get my dash back. So that would be a normal wave dash. And all I'm doing is that I'm going like I'm wave dashing to the left, but after I hit dash, I'm holding right and then hitting jump. Okay, well, not like that. Just like that. Okay, so let's bring the game speed back up again and demonstrate how this works. Just like that. Okay, so the reason this is useful is if, say, if they're one of those platforms that crumble and you're falling, let's say this platform is one of those crumbling ones. I'm sorry that I don't have the actual example, but I can't be bothered at the moment. So say you have one of these crumbling floors, and let's say there's like a wall of spikes here to the left. Okay? So, and it would be impossible to do a rightwards wave dash if, say, imagine like right here there's a bunch of spikes. It would be impossible to wave dash to the right or to extended hyper to the right, because if you only have like this much space, you know, you're not going to be able to... Let's do it up here. It's a little easier. You're not going... If you only have like this much space here and there's all spikes here, you're not going to be able to extended hyper or even reverse hyper. So you have to do a reverse wave dash, because when you reverse wave dash, you can actually jump off the platform and then back on and wave dash to the right. So like that. And you'll notice that that whole time I stayed within here. I got the distance from I got the wave dash, but I also got my dash back. Okay? So that can be really useful if you really don't have that much space. If you have very little space and you need to go to the right quickly, but you need to keep your dash as well. So, okay, that was my breakdown of some of the most advanced techniques in Celeste that I haven't seen many other places. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was useful. And thanks for watching. Bye.